The ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been a long-standing and deeply rooted issue in the Middle East, marked by violence, tension, and political turmoil. Over the years, various actors on the global stage have taken sides, either supporting Israel or the Palestinian cause. In a surprising turn of events, Russia and Iran, two significant players in the region, have decided to send troops into Gaza Palestine in support of the Palestinian people. This move has ignited intense debates, both regionally and internationally, and has the potential to reshape the dynamics of the conflict. In this in-depth exploration, we will delve into the motivations behind Russia and Iran's decision, the potential consequences of their actions, and the broader implications for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in the Middle East as a whole. To understand why Russia and Iran have chosen to intervene in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, it is crucial to consider their individual motivations and the broader geopolitical context. Both Russia and Iran have been seeking to expand their influence in the Middle East. Russia, under President Vladimir Putin, has been actively pursuing a more prominent role in the region, not only to protect its allies, but also to challenge the United States' dominance. Iran, on the other hand, sees itself as a regional power and seeks to exert influence in neighboring countries. By supporting the Palestinian cause, both nations aim to gain favor among the Arab and Muslim populations in the Middle East and enhance their geopolitical standing. Russia and Iran have long been critical of Israel's policies in the Palestinian territories. They view Israel's actions, such as settlement expansion in the West Bank and the blockade of Gaza, as violations of international law and human rights. By sending troops into Gaza, they are signaling their opposition to Israel's actions and aligning themselves with the Palestinian cause, which resonates with many in the region. Russia and Iran support various resistance movements in the Middle East, including Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Assad regime in Syria. By backing the Palestinians, they hope to foster unity among these movements and create a united front against common adversaries, primarily the United States and Israel. This strategy aims to strengthen their allies and weaken their opponents in the region. Russia and Iran also share energy interests in the Middle East. Both countries are major oil and gas producers, and the stability of the region directly affects their energy exports and revenues. By involving themselves in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, they can exert pressure on regional players and potentially gain leverage in energy negotiations and alliances. Domestic politics also play a role in their decision. In Russia, supporting the Palestinian cause can appeal to nationalist sentiments and bolster Putin's popularity at home. In Iran, the government can use its support for Palestine to divert attention from domestic issues and rally public support. The decision by Russia and Iran to send troops into Gaza Palestine has far-reaching consequences, not only for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but also for the broader Middle East region. The presence of Russian and Iranian troops in Gaza is likely to escalate the already volatile situation in the region. Israel may perceive this as a direct threat and respond with force, potentially leading to a full-scale conflict. The risk of military escalation is a significant concern. This intervention will undoubtedly have international repercussions. The United States, a staunch ally of Israel, will likely condemn Russia and Iran's actions, and may even take steps to counter their influence in the region. This could lead to further tensions between global powers and exacerbate the conflict. The intervention may reshape regional dynamics. Other Middle Eastern countries will have to reassess their alliances and positions. Some may choose to align with Russia and Iran, while others may distance themselves from these two nations to maintain relations with the United States and Israel. The presence of foreign troops in Gaza may raise humanitarian concerns. It could make it more challenging for aid organizations to provide assistance to the Palestinian population, which has already been suffering due to the protracted conflict and blockade. The involvement of additional actors in the conflict may complicate future negotiations. Finding a peaceful resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict was already a challenging task, and the presence of Russian and Iranian troops may add another layer of complexity to the negotiations. The intervention by Russia and Iran has the potential to significantly impact the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in various ways. The presence of Russian and Iranian troops in Gaza alters the power dynamics in the region. It may embolden Palestinian factions and lead to a shift in the balance of power. making it more challenging for Israel to assert control over the Palestinian territories. The Palestinian political landscape is already fragmented, with different factions vying for influence. The intervention of external actors like Russia and Iran may exacerbate these divisions, as different factions may align themselves with one of these nations, further complicating efforts at Palestinian unity. The involvement of Russia and Iran could undermine international peace initiatives and negotiations. It may make it more difficult for international actors, such as the United Nations or the United States, to mediate and broker a lasting peace agreement. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has often been viewed as a proxy conflict between regional and global powers. With Russia and Iran now directly involved, the risk of the conflict becoming a larger proxy war involving other nations increases, potentially drawing in more actors and further destabilizing the region. The broader Middle East region is likely to experience the ripple effects of this intervention. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Egypt may reassess their positions and alliances, potentially leading to shifts in regional politics and alliances. Amidst the rising tensions and complexity introduced by the involvement of Russia and Iran, international diplomacy becomes even more critical. The United Nations, the United States, the European Union, and other relevant actors must engage in robust diplomatic efforts to mitigate the risks associated with this intervention and work towards a peaceful solution. The international community must prioritize multilateral negotiations as the primary means of resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. These negotiations should involve all relevant parties, including Israel, Palestinian representatives, and regional powers, while ensuring the voice of the Palestinian people is heard. Efforts to mediate and resolve the conflict should be redoubled. Neutral third parties with the trust of all sides can play a crucial role in facilitating dialogue and negotiations. The Quartet on the Middle East, comprising the UN, US, EU, and Russia, may need to reconvene and play an active role in mediating talks. Humanitarian aid and reconstruction efforts in Gaza must continue despite the intervention. International organizations should coordinate their efforts to provide assistance to the Palestinian population, ensuring access to essential services, food, clean water, and healthcare. Rebuilding Gaza's infrastructure and economy will be vital in the aftermath of any conflict. Regional powers, including Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Turkey, and others, can play a significant role in supporting diplomatic efforts. These countries should be encouraged to engage constructively in the peace process and use their influence to promote stability. The ultimate goal should remain the establishment of a two-state solution, where Israel and Palestine coexist peacefully side by side with recognized borders. While this solution has faced numerous challenges and setbacks, it remains the most viable path to a lasting resolution. The root causes of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, including issues like borders, refugees, Jerusalem, and security, must be addressed comprehensively during negotiations. A fair and just resolution of these core issues is essential for lasting peace. Confidence-building measures should be implemented to create a conducive environment for negotiations. These may include halting settlement expansion, easing restrictions on Palestinian movement, and ceasing acts of violence. To build trust and ensure compliance with agreements, international monitoring mechanisms may be necessary. International peacekeepers or observers can help oversee ceasefires and the implementation of negotiated solutions. Public diplomacy efforts should be undertaken to promote understanding and empathy among the Israeli and Palestinian populations. Grassroots initiatives, educational exchanges, and cultural programs can help bridge the divide and foster people-to-people connections. Russia and Iran's decision to send troops into Gaza Palestine in support of the Palestinian cause is a bold move that carries significant implications for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the broader Middle East region. Their motivations, including geopolitical influence, opposition to Israel, and support for resistance movements, provide insight into why they have taken this step. However, the consequences of their intervention are complex and potentially fraught with risks, including military escalation, international tensions, and challenges to humanitarian efforts. Thank you for sticking with me all the way to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure the notification bell is turned on so you don't miss a video.